As Charlie was practicing magic, as she was looking for a way to travel. You see, she heard about teleportation magic, and if she could teleport anywhere in hell, this could be useful in battle and other things like that. Also, since her apprentice was redeemed, she was thinking about making a permanent teleporter to heaven. As she practiced this magic, make it so she can travel to heaven, as she would search for another dimension, another dimensional plane outside of hell. As she finally locked onto it, she would smile. As Vaggie would say, "What are you doing?" Charlie would say, "Going to heaven. I think I finally made the portal. Watch, Vaggie." As then she teleported. But as she teleported, she would see a strange room with bright lights. As she would try to teleport, she couldn't. As she looked around, it looked like she was in some sort of weird office space. As she started to walk around, there was nothing here. She walked for miles and miles and miles. But no matter how far she walked, she couldn't see or find anything. Until eventually she saw a wall that didn't belong there. It was brown. As she touched it, she would appear in some strange place filled with pools. As she started to walk, little did she know that these were the pool rooms, and that a very few of them, you can actually see other people. As someone else was there, as they fell back and said, "It's an entity." Charlie would say, "An entity? What's that?" As the man would be shocked that this entity could talk, but he would stand up and say, "What are you doing here? Do you guard the pool?" Charlie would say, "I don't guard the pool." As then he looked down. He looked pale, as Charlie would then use her magic to turn the part of the pool into food, as she gave it to him, and turn into drinkable water. The man was very grateful and said, "Thank you. What is your name?" "Charlie." "Charlie, the entity that helps people. I'll remember that." As he ran off, Charlie would say, "I wonder what that's about," as Charlie would continue to walk. As the pools seemed, well, they seemed nice and warm. As the man left, Charlie would simply take a dip and relax in the pools. Now, Charlie wasn't extremely overpowered with her magic, but she has been training, so the pool rooms were no threat to her. As she continued to walk further and further and further, eventually she would reach a room that could be a threat to her, but not one that was super deadly. Well, to her standards. To any normal person, this would be deadly. As Charlie walked in, she saw a bright yellow room with balloons everywhere. As they would see pictures and drawings on the wall, Charlie would continue to walk, seeing all these fancy drawings, as she saw a partygoer, as a few more would surround her, and she wouldn't notice that their face and smile were made of, the red stuff that comes out of your body. As the partygoers would slowly go to Charlie, Charlie would then hug them and say, "Oh, you're so cute." The partygoers would try to destroy her, but it wouldn't work. Charlie was too powerful with her magic, as magic is extremely effective in the Backrooms. They were all shocked as they stared at her. They started to think she was an entity, but she didn't attack them. She showed kindness and talked to them. As then, there was a man walking in. As the partygoers would surround him, he thought he was done for, but Charlie would walk to him and say, "Here, have some cake." As she gave him some cake, he would then start to eat it, as Charlie protected him without even knowing. As he said, "You're that entity, Charlie, aren't you? You protect others. Thank you." As then he would walk off. "Do you know the exit?" Charlie would say, "Bring him to the exit," as the partygoers would actually help him leave. The partygoers were shocked. They did need people to, turn them into, because they were a virus. However, they did have a lot of numbers already, and maybe they can do it to bad people, or wait for Charlie to leave. Either way, it works for them. As Charlie started to talk to them, they didn't talk back, but she started to play with them, have fun with them, and they started to like Charlie. They started to view her as their unofficial leader. As eventually, though, one of the partygoers would move its hand, as Charlie would follow it. As the partygoers were following Charlie, Charlie was confused. As one she followed, the rest followed her. The partygoers were hoping she could fix this problem, as she went to a weird schoolroom, as these party poopers were battling them with weapons. Charlie was shocked and said, "Stop, stop!" as she would run in and heal the party poopers and the partygoers at the same time. The partygoers were shocked that she would heal the enemy. The party poopers were shocked that she seemed kind. As they both would stare at each other, they simply continued to look, as Charlie would say, "Why don't we talk out our differences?" As then, a new room would be created, as the Backrooms listened to her, almost like her magic affected it. The room was the meeting room. As Charlie would meet with them, she would begin to discuss things. As the party poopers would sigh, they would then begin to talk. "Listen, I get that you're an entity that wants to help, but these things are monsters. Charlie would say, no, they're not. They're kind, friendly, and loving. The party people would be confused, but then he had realized something. A wrong realization. He assumed that Charlie meant they didn't know any better, that the only way they can reproduce is by using other people and spreading their virus. That they're loving to their own kind. That humans wipe out others too, so why are they any different? The party people would say, that's a good point, but for the preservation of our survival, we need to stay strong against them. Charlie would say, well, why not have a ceasefire? That way you can both do your thing and help others. As the party poopers would look, the party goers would also look at them, as they reluctantly agree, as Charlie would walk out there. And Charlie started to become more and more famous as this strange entity that would help people. Now, there were frowners, party poopers, and others that helped people, but she was different. She was super direct, and she always got results. And she even managed to turn the most deadliest and hardcore entities into friendly ones. It would continue onwards, go to level, and help others. Eventually, though, she ended up in a very, unique level. As the hallway was red, and there was traps everywhere. There was a bunch of things running towards someone, as it seemed like they were going to get her. But Charlie would say, can you guys stop running? As they tried to attack Charlie, nothing would happen. Her magic would protect her. As they'd all look at her and simply nod, as they assumed this was some higher entity saving them. As this person smile, as she would say, thank you, as she hugged her. You stopped them. Charlie would say, no problem. As then she would then sigh. The girl would say, what's wrong? I've been stuck here for a while now, I wish I can get out. She was shocked. She knew Charlie was an entity, or she thought she was. Go out to the real world? Well, she could try to help her. I mean, she's been looking for it, but she couldn't find it. Maybe this entity would be better at finding it. Or maybe she was trying to trick them. This whole time pretending to be nice so she can go to Earth and destroy it. So many questions came to her, but she decided to trust her instinct. After all, she did owe Charlie. As she said, there's a rumor about how to get out. There's two ways. One, there's a slide that has a 1% chance of taking you out, and a 99% chance of taking you to level hell. As Charlie would say, I don't like that slide idea. As then she would go, there's another, a room with 500,000 steps. Well, the steps are actually infinite, but if you count the 500,000 and jump, you'll go out. But if you mess up, it's over. And it has to be exact, the 500,000 step. Charlie would nod as she would look for the room. With her magic power, she could sense where it was as she walked through level to level. Eventually, she found a cute level on the way, though. As Charlie would see Kitty, a strange black figure, as she would say, hey, do you know where stairs are? As she would smile, Kitty would find Charlie cute, as Kitty would simply pat Charlie's head. As Kitty would move out of the level and show Charlie the way. As Charlie would go further and further, eventually she would reach the stairs level. As she would sigh, this is it. She's had kind of a fun adventure. She's met many people, many strange beings. She wished she could bring them to the hotel, but she can't. Time to leave whatever this place is. She doesn't really know where she would go. She's hoping back to the has-been universe, but she could go to Earth. Well, if she went to Earth, she could just go back to hell, assuming that it's her Earth. But she was going to have to take that chance as she walked up step by step, counting each one. As Charlie counted them all very carefully, she eventually reached the 500,000 step. As she looked down, if her math was slightly off, then she didn't know what was going to happen to her, but she was willing to take the risk to see Vaggie again, to see her friends again, to see her family. As she jumped off, she would eventually hit the ground, as then she would wake up. It was all just a dream, but as she looked, she saw a party goer, a party pooper, Kitty, and a few of the people she helped save wave at her and give her a smile, almost saying like they'll be back or she'll be back one day. As they disappeared, Charlie would then be confused, but it didn't really matter much. As Vaggie would be in the bed next to her, Charlie would say, I went to another dimension, I did it. Vaggie would say, no, hon, you spent 2 nights in a row trying to do it without any sleep, and you passed out and slept 24 hours straight. Charlie would say, what? As Vaggie would say, yeah, you were making some pretty intense noises there too. Are you okay? Charlie would say, yeah, I'm alright, as she smiled. And that's gonna leave things off. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share with all your friends. Hope you all really enjoyed this video, because I enjoyed making it. It was really fun. I've been into the Backrooms for a long time, and I don't know why the whole shorts thing died down. A lot of people didn't like those shorts. They called them cringy, but I loved it. Like the little AI voice and like level 5, or like the one with the slides and all that stuff. I love those trends. Sadly, they're not as big as they used to be. Hopefully those backroom trends will get high. I mean, Bloogly's cool, but I don't think he has anything on those backroom shorts creators, because they make the best stuff. And I know that might upset some of you, but it's true, in my opinion at least, which is, every time I have an opinion, it's absolute fact. No, I'm just kidding, but yeah. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share with all your friends. Hit that thanks button if you want to. It really means a lot to me. And by the way, what's your favorite Backrooms level or entity? Let me know in the comments below. Because there's so many levels to choose from, and there's so many different canons too, you know what I mean? So it's like, some people like level fun. I'm pretty sure level fun's mostly everyone's favorite level, because there's like level fun plus, level minus, and all of this fan-made levels. I feel like you have to really love something to make all these fan-made stuff, at least in my opinion. But yeah, which levels do you guys like the most? And what do you think about the Backrooms as a whole? Do you think they're cringy? Do you think they're cool? Do you think they're overdone? Like, it blew up. It was everywhere. And now, the only Backrooms channel I ever see is Bloogly, which is like the Backrooms legend. If you want to watch anything with Backrooms, watch Bloogly. I highly recommend it. He's a great YouTuber, great channel. I mean, he has 1 million subscribers, so he's way more than I have. So I don't know why I'm shouting him out like I'm helping him out. I don't know, like I'm like, yeah, go check him out. He needs the support. But yeah, he's like way bigger than me, so I don't know why I'm doing that. But anyway, love you all so much. Peace out.